What is up, Buckeye Nation 2? And man, this is not going to be a fun video, but maybe fun for you guys, but not for me. And this has been long awaited, suggested by the one and only Ben the Man, Bandwagon Ben PC, whatever you want to call him. The Cleveland Guardians, let's just talk about him here, man. Like, what is going on? Like, this is ridiculous. I don't understand how you are barely struggling to stay above 500. They're below 500 the time I'm filming this video. I'm about to get into why and stuff, but you were literally in the ALCS. You were one series away from literally the championship, the World Series, and you just, how can you be this bad? I don't understand. Like, we had such a good roster. Well, I mean, AL was definitely weaker, but we had such a solid core. We just needed to build it up more, but we just tore it apart. We took a big chunk or big part of our core in Josh Naylor, traded him for Slade Zacconi. I mean, we'll get into Slade. We'll get into now. Slade, look, did he have a pretty good July? Yeah, he was pretty solid when he first started with us, but he's just been not great as of late. I don't know what's going on. And he sucked against the Braves, I think. Yeah, the Braves, and I think he pitched against the Marlins. I'm not too sure, but either way, he still sucked against the Braves and then someone else. What else? We trade one of our best relievers in Eli Morgan. And we traded Andres Jimenez, one of the best fielders, away. It's bad. Like, I genuinely don't understand. Like, are we trying to win here? Like, we needed starting pitching, clearly. That was literally, we were a couple starting pitchers away from potentially being a World Series team this year, and maybe a bat or two away. And what do? We just blow it up. I don't understand. Like, these owners suck. It's the GM, don't get me wrong. Chris Antonetti, people give him slack. No, he's good. He's good for what the money he's given. He does a good job because we always are around that 500 range or just above or make the playoffs. I mean, as you guys know, I don't know if you know, but the Guardians odd year curse thing is clearly being proved to be real here because it's an odd year and they are very mediocre this year. I know, I get it. They're right around 500. Which is literally mid. That's the definition of mid. But they should be a better team. I mean, like, what are we doing here? What I was talking about. Oh yeah, ever since 2019, it's been, or 2018 technically, because 2018 we made the playoffs. 2019 we did very well, but just missed because that's when they had the 5 teams, the 6 teams. There were 6 teams we were making it. 2020 we made it. I know it was COVID year, but still we made it. 2021, the year we got rid of Lindor, instead of extending him, well, I mean, that's a key part of why we suck. Ever since that trade has happened, Cleveland, they just never will be good unless they get lucky with some prospects here. I mean, and clearly what we've seen is a lot of our prospects who we call up, the hyped up ones, they just end up being so mid or just suck. There's just some sort of developmental issue. I don't understand. They always say we have one of the best farm systems, and then they come up here and they just forget how to play baseball. Like, what are we doing here? I think it's something with the hitting. Like, the hitting development is just awful in the system. Like, you have guys like, I don't know, Will Wilson, who suck at hitting. I mean, Nolan Jones, he was technically farm raised by us, went to Colorado for 2 years, came back. He's just terrible. He's awful. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, I know he wasn't raised by us, but I mean, even the guys who we trade for, signed and come here, who were decent hitters, they tend to, like, look at Lane Thomas, for example. I mean, he was great in the playoffs, let's be real. But when he first came to Cleveland, he sucked, and he's sucked when he's not been injured, but he's been super injury prone. Big Christmas, he's just all or nothing, but unfortunately it's most of nothing. I mean, this dude's undercut is terrible. He just tries to hit out of the park every time. I just don't understand. You guys like Bo Naylor, who were hyped up to be like a great offensive catcher, and I keep hearing Bo Naylor hype. Like, dude, the dude's been up for like 3 or 4 years now, and he can't hit a baseball to save his life. And also, his defense is kind of mid. I'd rather have Hedges at that point at the catcher, even though he can't hit. But I'm not going to give Hedgie slack because, like, Hedgie, he's a great team leader, great defender. So we need Hedgie. He's a good backup catcher, but we need a better catcher. We're relying on a 39-year-old Carlos Santana. Don't get me wrong, Carlos Santana's had a great career, but I mean, he's just getting to the point where he's like more serviceable as a backup first baseman. Manzardo's solid. I'm not going to give him slack. Rocchio's been better since he got called up. Arias is a whole subject. We got him in Padres trade. He's this hyped up shortstop prospect. Oh, he could be Perez Lindor. No, this dude is so inconsistent. He chases pitches all the time. He's just not patient. There's just something with the hitting development. If you're noticing the trend, the only one, and you say, oh well, Jose Ramirez is a good hitter. Well, yeah, Jose Ramirez is a good hitter because clearly what was going on in those years when he got called up, the hitting development was good with Terry Francona as the manager. Who else do we have? I'm losing track. Quan's a good hitter. I guess Quan is really the only exception we have. Quan was amazing, and it was pathetic. The fact that we were considering trading him, okay, maybe if we got a huge haul, fine, but the fact that Cleveland was considering trading Quan at the deadline, that is terrible. You're never going to win if you trade that man. You need to keep that man. And the fact that they have not even locked him up yet is pathetic. This team just doesn't want to win, even though they literally are always competitive each year. If they just they don't have to be like the Mets or the Padres spending billions and millions of dollars, or even the Dodgers. They don't have to do that, but be like someone like that. I always say this when I talk to my friends. Be like the Astros, who you signed to no more than 5 or 6 years, maybe sign 1 or 2 guys in an offseason, get 1 or 2 guys in a trade deadline, and that's how you're good. You see, the Astros have been good since 2015, 2016 for a reason, because they stick to that method. They don't deplete their farm system, and they always have good major league talent. And then the farm system guys, when they come up, they're good. They're just a good team. I don't know why teams just don't replicate that, and especially Cleveland. They try to be too much like the Rays, and even the Rays, that's a whole nother subject you could get in. I bet there could be somebody who has a Rays crash out. Come on now. And then when and also going back to the Lindor trade, it's the whole point of getting these young guys is, sure, they're not as good as Lindor, but you have more of them, and maybe you sign them for a little longer, not for the rest of their career. But Ahmed Rosario was a solid player for Cleveland. He was solid. He had good speed. He would always make contact, good fielder. But what does Cleveland do? They trade him for a washed up Noah Syndergaard. That doesn't make sense. Noah Syndergaard, the man had a great career on the Mets, but after that, he just wasn't good. They traded and they end up DFAing Noah Syndergaard. So they basically trade Ahmed Rosario for nothing. Because you know why? These teams know Cleveland doesn't like extending the players, so they're not going to give him a good return. It's so bad. I can get into other trades too. Andres Jimenez, let me get into it. I've talked about him earlier. This guy, we traded him for Spencer Horwitz. Was he's all right. And it's you're thinking, and then we see, he's spent Spencer Horwitz to the Pirates for Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz had solid upside, pitched for us. This dude was so inconsistent. His pitching performances were more bipolar than, a girl's attitude, your girl's attitude, And then, after, solid start against the Yankees, and then he kind of blows it against, I think the Cardinals in June. And then after that, what happens? He's investigated for gambling. So that we basically trade Andres Jimenez for an active gambler who's actively gambling against himself. What are we doing here? Look into these players, guys. You need to, see, you can't just trade for a player. You got to look into their character, their work ethic, all that stuff. What are we doing? And that leads to Clase, right? Clase sucked in the playoffs. He basically was preventing it. He was probably a good shot. Were we going to beat the Yankees? Probably not. But, we could have maybe taken, 1, maybe 2 more games if he was not trying to blow it. He was probably gambling last year. And, now he gets caught. I mean, Luis Ortiz probably snitched on him. So there goes our closer, and now we're trying to find a closer. You're like, oh, Cade Smith, he was good and stuff, but we didn't really adjust him to the closer role. He didn't get to kind of get himself used to it in the preseason because we weren't expecting our closer to be actively gambling against himself. So now we have Cade Smith. I mean, he was a great reliever, but now he's a closer, and now since he's been closing, he's been terrible. Gaddis has been terrible closing. Like, our good relievers just forgot how to pitch. And we signed, okay, you know what? Let's instead of trading for a solid reliever or signing a decent one in the offseason, I mean, we signed Paul Sewald, who was washed, and clearly he was, and we ended up trading him for another bum. We go and get a dude named Matt Festa. Don't even get me started on him. He sucks. He literally sucks. Dude, I don't know how to say it. He might be gambling too. Like, he just loves giving up hits. I mean, that might as well be his hobby at this point. Like, dude, you're supposed to get the batter out. I think you misunderstood how to play baseball. I don't know who taught you, but dude, respectfully, just get off the team. Just cut him. See, it's different. If he was raised and whatever, yeah, just send him to AAA. But no, we signed him to help us, and he sucked. He needs to go. Yeah, that guy gets on my nerves. So yeah, I mean, really this year it's just been Stephen Kwan and Jose Ramirez, Carlos Santana so often, Kyle Manzardo so often helping. David Fry will sometimes have a clutch home run. I mean, he's just still nursing that arm injury. I mean, Angel's been decent. Schneemann has been solid. Those two have been decent. Those are good guys. Schneemann and Angel, those are good, bottom of the order guys. I would want them on my team, but not batting at the top of the order. They need to be bottom of the order guys. You need to get, solid top of the order guys to help Quan and Ramirez, because, they genuinely don't have help. The poor dudes, they've been carried. They are the only reason why we were around 500. They've been carrying this team around our back. The starters, that's a whole story. I mean, Tanner Bybee, dude, respectfully, I don't know what's going on with you, man, but, dude, it's a little frustrating because it's he's supposed to be the ace of the team. He's supposed to be the best pitcher, and he hasn't even been the best pitcher. I mean, Slade might have been better. Slade has been better than him, probably. Luis Ortiz, I already said what happened. I think, ever since Ben Lively went down with Tommy John, things just derailed. And since Luis Ortiz got caught for gambling, around those two periods is when things went off the rail. Not in a good way. Trying to think. Who Logan Allen. It's just the same story with him. He's just kind of it just seems like you'll have maybe a couple good starts with maybe 2 or 3, and the rest of them are just kind of he's a good maybe starting pitcher 5, but yeah, I don't know. Gavin Williams is solid. He just has his inconsistency and struggles with command, but Gavin Williams he's probably been the best pitcher here. It's just been a whole carousel with pitching. Parker, we just call it Parker Masick. I guess that's kind of a bright spot. He pitched well in his debut. Shout out to him, believes in God, strong in his faith. Appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's just been frustrating with the bullpen. I mean, shout out Eric Zabrowski. That's another guy I want to shout out. He's been a dog in the bullpen, but we've clearly liked a dude who's trying to actively make us lose games, and Matt Festa. We'd rather have him in than Zabrowski, which I honestly don't understand. It's and you look at Shane Bieber, he could help the starting rotation, but traded him. I mean, I guess we got a solid prospect. He was probably going to be walk. Let's be real here. If I'm Shane Bieber, I don't want to be in this mess. So yeah, trying to think. So yeah, ever since Ben Lively went down, we almost literally lost the season series to our cross-state rivals in Cincinnati. It wasn't until the very last game where we won. We got swept by the Mariners. We did take the Giants one, the Giants series, and I'm thinking, oh, this looks good. And we take the Athletic series, that looks good. But then we drop a series of the Blue Jays. I mean, Blue Jays have been great. Get swept by the Cardinals, get swept by the Cubs, get swept by the Tigers, and it's it's cooked, right? But no, they sweep the Astros. Who knows how? I mean, that was a miracle. They then win the White Sox series, 4-game series in the White Sox series. They then beat the Athletics again, so it's looking good. They then take 3 or 4 against the Orioles, like, okay, a playoff push is going to happen. This is around June, July. They lose a series to the Royals. I mean, okay, it's a bump in the road. This should have been a sweep. They should have swept the Rockies. No, they did terrible that first game. They blew that one, but they did win the series. So it could have been worse, but still, you got to sweep the Rockies. Take 2 or 3 from the Twins. Sweep the Mets. So again, it's looking good. And then this is where things kind of just, I mean, they take 2 or 3 against the White Sox, but then this is where things go downhill. Look, I get it. I mean, we won the series, but we should have played the Marlins better. We get swept by the Braves, who literally have been having a down year. They have no starting pitching. We lose the series to the Diamondbacks, who literally were actively selling at the deadline, and then we just get swept by the Rangers. The Rangers, their offense is terrible. I get it. They have good pitching, but you got to take maybe at least one. Okay, the first game was close. Cade Smith unfortunately blew that one, but we get shut out twice. Twice. That is ridiculous. That means you haven't scored a run in 18 innings. Fun fact. And I don't even know if we scored any in like the last inning, so it could be even more. This season has just been a disaster. It's just been a dumpster fire. I don't know what needs to be done. I just think Paul Dolan needs to sell the team. Respectfully, dude, you don't care about the fans. You don't care about the team. You just want to see, you actively want us to lose. Like, you just only care about your money. You don't like us. Just, if you're like that, just leave respectfully, dude. Like, we want a guy who's, okay, I don't want a guy who's going to be like the Mets and Padres owner who spends gazillion amount of dollars and then just to not win a World Series. I already said it. I want a guy who's like the Astros, GM Astros owner. That, I like that, It's just infuriating. I mean, I think you just need to sign some people in the offseason. And, I mean, don't sign them to ridiculous contracts. And don't sign, players like Jacob. I mean, Jacob Junis, I mean, he's been iffy at some, but he's been decent. But, that can't be, your biggest signing. That was probably one of the biggest signings. And Paul Sewald was bad. You got to go out and get players who are going to help this team. I mean, the issue is because we're so mediocre, we got to rush these guys who haven't developed, who I was listing, and then they're not good in the majors. I mean, I kind of take back some of the things I said maybe earlier in the video, Bo Naylor, he was probably rushed. That's the issue. We need solid guys in the majors, so these guys can fully develop in the minors and we don't rush them, and then they're mid. And the whole farm system thing, that's another story. Usually our top prospects are Chase DeLauder, Daniel Espino, they always seem to look so good, but then they just keep getting hurt, so they can never get called up. So it's just injury prone. It's infuriating. I mean, hopefully Bazana is as advertised. He was the number 1 pick after all. We need that. We need that spark. I think that's really that and a couple signings is the only way this team can rebound to what they were in the ALCS. Hopefully even better, because it's infuriating when it's been 70 plus years since your team has won a World Series. My parents weren't even alive when my parents' entire life they haven't seen Cleveland win a World Series. I haven't seen it. It's ridiculous, and I just don't know what else to say. I think I spoke all my thoughts. I just made it clear. I made it known that it's frustrating being a Cleveland fan and just continuing to see the front office just let us down and the ownership just let us down. Well, not Antonetti, but more of the ownership just to let us down each and every year by not really trying to make a push or anything. So yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. I said a lot. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching, you're a real one. Certified Crashout right here. Just make sure, subscribe down below, like the video, leave in the comments what I should do next. Till next time, Buckeye Nation 2 gives all the videos to you.